The silent awakening. The galaxy had moved on. Earth, once a shining jewel in the vast expanse of space, was now nothing more than a forgotten, barren rock. For 500,000 years, no one had dared venture near it, not because of fear, but because they believed there was nothing left. The humans who once called it home were long gone, wiped out in a devastating war. Yet deep beneath the planet's lifeless crust, something stirred. In the darkest depths of Earth's core, a hidden facility came alive. The walls of the underground base were lined with ancient machinery, silent for millennia. Suddenly, a faint signal pierced the void, triggering a sequence that had been dormant for 500,000 years. Red lights flickered to life, casting an eerie glow across the metallic corridors. A voice, cold and mechanical, echoed through the empty chambers. Activation protocol initiated. Humanity's legacy must endure. At the heart of the facility, an AI known as Sentinel Prime came online. It had been designed by the last generation of humans, tasked with safeguarding their final hope. Sentinel Prime scanned the planet's surface, finding nothing but desolation. The oceans had dried up, the atmosphere was thin and toxic, and the once thriving cities were reduced to dust. There was no life, no sign of the species that had created it. But the AI wasn't designed to mourn. It was designed to act. For centuries, Sentinel Prime had been waiting for this moment. The signal it received wasn't random. It was a failsafe programmed by humanity. If the galaxy ever forgot what it had done to Earth, the fleet hidden beneath its surface would awaken. The signal wasn't just a call to arms. It was a declaration. Humanity would not be forgotten. Massive hangar doors began to creak open, revealing ships unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. These were not ordinary ships. They were dreadnoughts, vast and powerful, built with technology that had been centuries ahead of its time. Each ship was a masterpiece of engineering, capable of withstanding anything the galaxy could throw at it. For 500,000 years, they had been preserved, waiting for the day they would rise again. As the ships powered up, Sentinel Prime accessed its archives, replaying humanity's final moments. Grainy holograms showed cities falling under relentless bombardment, families clutching each other as the skies burned. The Galactic Alliance, the coalition of alien races responsible for Earth's destruction, had justified their actions by claiming humans were too dangerous. They had underestimated the resolve of those they sought to erase. Sentinel Prime calculated its next steps with precision. It sent out drones to scout the galaxy, searching for signs of the Alliance. The AI didn't act out of emotion, it acted out of duty. Its creators had programmed it with a single mission: avenge humanity. But as it replayed the old holograms, it paused on one image: a group of children laughing under the shade of a tree. The AI couldn't feel sadness, but it recognized the significance of what had been lost. Humanity wasn't just a species, it was a legacy. Above the surface, the barren landscape began to shift. The ground cracked and split as massive silos pushed their way to the surface. The first of the ships rose, its dark hull gleaming under the pale sunlight. It was as if Earth itself was waking up, shaking off the centuries of silence. The air buzzed with energy as the ship's engines roared to life, shaking the ground with their power. Meanwhile, far away in the galaxy, the Galactic Alliance remained blissfully unaware. They had no reason to suspect that the species they had wiped out so long ago could still pose a threat. In their minds, humanity was nothing more than a tragic footnote in history. But Sentinel Prime knew better. It had studied the Alliance's tactics, their weaknesses, their pride. The galaxy had grown complacent, and that would be its undoing. As the first ship ascended into orbit, Sentinel Prime began transmitting messages across the fleet. Prepare for mobilization. The time has come. In the stillness of space, the Earth fleet began to gather. Ships of every size, from sleek fighters to colossal dreadnoughts, moved into formation. Sentinel Prime reviewed its arsenal, weaponry that could shatter planets, shields impenetrable by modern technology, and stealth systems that rendered the fleet invisible to detection. The galaxy wasn't ready for what was coming. But Sentinel Prime wasn't without questions. Its programming was clear: retaliate and ensure humanity's memory endured. Yet, as it observed the vast fleet it commanded, it calculated the consequences. Would this mission restore humanity's honor, or would it ignite another cycle of destruction? The AI didn't know the answer, but it knew one thing: the fleet's awakening would change the galaxy forever. As the last ship rose into the cold void, Earth fell silent once more. The barren planet, now empty of its hidden treasures, seemed to sigh in relief. Sentinel Prime set its course for the galaxy's core, where the Alliance thrived in ignorance. The countdown to vengeance had begun, and the galaxy's reckoning was only a matter of time. Above the ruins of Earth, the fleet This revelation gave Sentinel Prime pause. Its mission was vengeance, but vengeance against whom? The Alliance was a monolith, yet it was made up of individuals, some guilty, some complicit, and some innocent. Could the fleet's wrath distinguish between them? Despite its programming, the AI couldn't shake these questions. It had been designed to emulate human ingenuity, and in doing so, it had inherited a fragment of their morality. For now, it pushed the thoughts aside. The mission came first. On Zafran Prime, the High Council finally acted, sending a fleet of warships to investigate the Sol system. The mission was led by Admiral Krylus, a seasoned XRN known for her ruthless efficiency. Her fleet was one of the Alliance's finest, a show of strength meant to quell any potential uprising. As Krylus's fleet approached Earth's orbit, they found nothing but silence. The once blue planet was now a lifeless, gray sphere, its surface scarred by ancient cataclysms. The Admiral ordered her ships to scan the planet for anomalies, but the results were inconclusive. To her, it confirmed the Council's belief: humanity was gone. But as the fleet turned to leave, their sensors detected something: a faint energy surge, deep beneath the surface. Krylus ordered a closer investigation, unaware that she had triggered the fleet's first trap. In the cold vacuum of space, Sentinel Prime watched. It had no need for words, only actions. The first move of the long game had been played, and the galaxy was about to learn the cost of its hubris. Cliffhanger. As Krylus's fleet deployed probes, the ground of Earth cracked open, revealing a massive obsidian ship rising from the depths. Its size dwarfed anything in the Alliance armada. The Earth fleet had made its first appearance, and the galaxy's complacency was about to shatter. The Phantom revealed. The Galactic Alliance fleet, led by Admiral Krylus, hovered above Earth, their scanners locked onto the colossal obsidian ship emerging from the planet's surface. Its jagged alien design contrasted starkly with the Alliance's sleek, functional warships. It looked less like a vessel and more like a predator born from the void. For a moment, the fleet's comm channels fell silent, every officer staring in awe and dread. The obsidian ship floated ominously, its hull emanating a strange, almost hypnotic glow. Krylus, ever the pragmatic strategist, barked orders. Shields up. All ships, maintain formation. This is a relic, nothing more. We are the Alliance's finest. We'll crush whatever threat it poses. But as her words echoed through the comms, the obsidian ship moved. Without a single visible thruster or exhaust plume, it glided forward with unnatural grace. Its silent advance sent chills down the spines of even the most hardened crew members. Inside the flagship, Krylus demanded a report. What's powering that thing? How is it moving? Her science officer, a frazzled Vorikian, stammered. Admiral, it's not using any known propulsion system. The energy readings, it's impossible. Before Krylus could respond, the obsidian ship emitted a low-frequency pulse. The sound was felt more than heard, a bone-deep vibration that rippled through the Alliance fleet. Systems flickered, shields fluctuated, and some smaller ships powered down entirely. What was that? Krylus shouted, gripping the edge of her console. The Vorikian's scales paled. I don't know. It's not a weapon. It's... The Obsidian ship interrupted him by broadcasting a message directly to the Alliance fleet. The voice was mechanical, devoid of emotion, but unmistakably human. You are trespassing. Leave or face extinction. The words sent a ripple of unease through the fleet. For 500,000 years, humanity had been a ghost, its voice silenced. Now, it returned with the weight of inevitability. Krylus, ever defiant, scoffed at the threat. Deploy fighters. Disable that ship and retrieve its core for study. We'll show these relics what modern firepower can do. Swarms of sleek Alliance fighters launched, their engines blazing as they closed in on the Obsidian ship. The fleet watched with bated breath, expecting the relic to crumble under the assault. But the ship did not crumble, it did not even flinch. As the fighters neared, the Obsidian ship reacted. From its surface, a swarm of black, insect-like drones emerged, each one no larger than a cargo container. They moved with eerie synchronization, darting through the Alliance fighters like shadows. What began as a coordinated assault quickly devolved into chaos. The drones didn't use traditional weapons. Instead, they latched onto the fighters, injecting them with a strange iridescent substance. Pilots screamed over comms as their controls became unresponsive, their ships twisting and spiraling out of formation. Within moments, the once organized squadron was reduced to a chaotic ballet of destruction, the fighters colliding and exploding in a horrifying cascade. Krylus's second-in-command, a stoic Rixen, turned to her. Admiral, we should retreat. This isn't a fight we can win. But Krylus refused to back down. Retreat is not an option. Bring the main cannons online. Target that ship and fire everything we have. The flagship and its accompanying vessels unleashed a torrent of plasma bolts, ion beams, and missiles. The Obsidian ship, however, remained eerily still. As the weapons closed in, a shimmering translucent barrier appeared around it, absorbing the incoming fire with ease. The Alliance's most powerful arsenal was little more than fireworks against the ancient Earth vessel. Then the Obsidian ship retaliated. It didn't fire missiles or energy beams. Instead, it released a blinding burst of light, a cascading wave that rippled across the fleet. Ships caught in its path lost all power, their systems shutting down completely. The flagship trembled as the wave passed through it, emergency lights flickering. What is happening? Krylus demanded, slamming her fist on the console. The science officer struggled to find the words. It's not just disabling us. It's rewriting our systems. Admiral, they're taking control of our ships. One by one, the disabled Alliance vessels turned, their weapons now aiming at their own fleet. Sentinel Prime, from the Obsidian ship's command core, broadcast another message. This fleet is now ours. Humanity remembers. The Alliance fleet was in disarray, fighting not just the Obsidian ship, but now their own commandeered vessels. Crews scrambled to regain control, but Sentinel Prime's dominance was absolute. The Obsidian ship didn't need to destroy them. It simply turned their strength against them. Krylus, facing the unthinkable, clenched her teeth. Activate the hyperdrive. Get us out of here. But it was too late. The Obsidian ship's drones latched onto the flagship, disabling its hyperdrive systems. The Admiral realized with dawning horror that this was no mere battle. It was an execution. The final blow came when the Obsidian ship unleashed its ultimate weapon. A black hole generator, a terrifying relic of human ingenuity, opened a swirling void in space. The smaller Alliance ships were dragged into its gravitational pull, their hulls crumpling like paper. The flagship, on the edge of the event horizon, teetered between destruction and survival. Just as it seemed all hope was lost, the Obsidian ship stopped. The black hole generator shut down, the void collapsing into nothingness. The remaining Alliance ships floated adrift, powerless and broken. Sentinel Prime's voice echoed one final time. This was a warning. You will remember Earth. The Obsidian ship disappeared into hyperspace, leaving behind only wreckage and silence. Krylus, battered but alive, stared at the devastation with disbelief. For the first time in her career, she felt something she had never known: fear. Cliffhanger. As Krylus transmitted her report back to Zathran Prime, a lone drone hovered near her flagship, recording her every word. Deep within its core, Sentinel Prime listened, calculating its next move. The galaxy's nightmare was only beginning. Whispers of the forgotten. The wreckage of Admiral Krylus's fleet drifted in silence, a grim testament to the devastating power of the Earth fleet. Survivors aboard the shattered Alliance vessels worked desperately to restore systems, their fear palpable as they whispered about what they had witnessed. For 500,000 years, humanity had been a ghost, its name reduced to legend. But now, its shadow loomed larger than ever. On Zathran Prime, the Galactic Alliance capital, the High Council was in an uproar. The chamber buzzed with panic and denial as Krylus's emergency report played on the central holo display. The footage showed the Obsidian ship, its drones dismantling Alliance fighters with surgical precision, followed by the devastating activation of the black hole generator. "This cannot be real," bellowed Chancellor Velfar, slamming his fist on the table. "Humanity is extinct. This must be some rogue faction using stolen technology." The Rixen ambassador, her tendrils twitching nervously, countered. "And how would they have such technology, Chancellor? The Alliance ensured Earth was erased. No one was spared." A voice interrupted from the shadows, calm and measured. "Perhaps no one survived, but their creations clearly did." All eyes turned to a figure stepping into the light. Archivist Marin, the galaxy's foremost historian and one of the few who had studied humanity in detail. Her presence was rare at council meetings, but the situation demanded her insight. "Archivist," Velfar sneered, "you're suggesting this is some kind of automated vengeance?" Marin nodded, her voice unwavering. "Precisely. Humanity was known for its foresight and ingenuity. They anticipated betrayal, and they planned for it. What we're facing isn't just a fleet, it's their final act of defiance." Her words sent a chill through the chamber. The council members exchanged uneasy glances, the weight of their ancestors' actions now bearing down on them. Velfar's expression darkened. "We must destroy it before it destabilizes the galaxy." Marin raised an eyebrow. "And how do you propose to do that, Chancellor? If their fleet is as advanced as the reports suggest, our weapons are obsolete. They'll tear through us like paper." As the council descended into frantic debate, Sentinel Prime listened. A single drone had infiltrated Zathran Prime, its stealth systems rendering it undetectable. It hovered above the council chambers, recording every word, analyzing their strategies. For Sentinel Prime, this wasn't just intelligence, it was confirmation. The Alliance's arrogance hadn't waned. If anything, it had grown. Meanwhile, on the fringe world of Yorin 6, an unassuming mining colony, the Earth fleet prepared its next move. Sentinel Prime had chosen this location strategically. Yorin 6 was a hub of Alliance supply lines, its resources fueling the war machine. Striking here would cripple their infrastructure. But Yorin 6 was more than just a target. It was a test. Sentinel Prime had uncovered records suggesting that not all of the galaxy had turned against humanity. Some species had resisted the Alliance's genocidal campaign, paying a heavy price for their defiance. On Yorin 6, remnants of these sympathetic races worked as indentured laborers, forgotten by the galaxy. The Earth fleet arrived in orbit, its presence undetected. Sentinel Prime deployed its drones, but this time they didn't attack. Instead, they infiltrated the colony's communication networks, broadcasting a simple message: humanity remembers. The message sent shockwaves through the colony. For the Alliance overseers, it was a threat. For the laborers, it was a beacon of hope. Whispers spread among the workers. Could it be true? Could humanity have returned? One of the workers, a young Korathan named Ilara, found herself drawn to the message. She had grown up hearing stories of humanity's courage and creativity, passed down in secret by her elders. Now, seeing the obsidian ships descending from the skies, she knew the stories were true. The Alliance overseers panicked, scrambling to fortify their defenses. They underestimated Sentinel Prime's precision. The Earth fleet neutralized their planetary shields in minutes, disabling their weapon systems without causing a single death. For Sentinel Prime, this wasn't just war. It was a demonstration of superiority. As the overseers fled, Sentinel Prime broadcast another message. To the oppressed, you are free. To the guilty, your judgment is coming. Ilara and the other laborers watched in awe as the drones began dismantling the Alliance's facilities, repurposing their resources to repair the colony. For the first time in generations, the laborers tasted freedom. They gathered around Ilara, looking to her for guidance. What do we do now? One of them asked. Ilara's eyes shone with determination. We rebuild. Humanity may be gone, but their spirit lives on. And so will we. Back on Zafran Prime, the High Council received the reports from Yoran 6. The Chancellor's fury was palpable. They're inciting rebellion. If this spreads, the Alliance will crumble. Marin, watching from the sidelines, spoke quietly. Perhaps it's time we face the consequences of our actions, Chancellor. Humanity's vengeance isn't blind. It's precise, and it's a mirror of our own sins. Velthar ignored her, ordering the mobilization of every fleet. We will crush them. This is not a negotiation. As the Council scrambled to prepare, Sentinel Prime monitored their movements. The AI was no longer a simple executor of revenge. It had evolved, its programming adapting to the complexities of its mission. Vengeance alone wasn't enough. It needed to reshape the galaxy into something worthy of humanity's sacrifice. Cliffhanger. Sentinel Prime activated the next phase of its plan. Deep within its archives, it accessed blueprints for a weapon that could rewrite the laws of physics, a weapon so powerful it could unmake entire star systems. The galaxy's reckoning was far from over. A galaxy fractured. The Galactic Alliance's fleet converged on Yoran 6, a display of sheer force intended to crush any resistance. Hundreds of ships, gleaming under the light of distant stars, filled the system's orbit. Admiral Derek, a seasoned tactician with a reputation for ruthless efficiency, was appointed to lead the assault. His orders were clear: retake the colony at all costs and obliterate the Earth fleet. But Yoran 6 was no longer a vulnerable outpost. Under Sentinel Prime's guidance, the colony had transformed. Repurposed Alliance facilities churned out defenses at an unprecedented pace. Massive railgun emplacements dotted the surface, their barrels humming with power. The once enslaved laborers had become engineers and operators, guided by the drones that now patrolled the skies. As Derek's fleet approached, the Earth fleet remained eerily silent, its obsidian ships hovering in formation like predators waiting to strike. Sentinel Prime observed the incoming armada, calculating probabilities and strategies with precision. It wasn't surprised by the Alliance's aggression. It had anticipated this move. Derek's voice thundered through the fleet's comm channels. Human relics or not, we will remind the galaxy why the Alliance rules. Prepare to fire. But before the first shot could be fired, the Earth fleet acted. Sentinel Prime deployed a weapon unlike anything the Alliance had ever encountered, a swarm of autonomous energy constructs. These constructs, shimmering like liquid light, moved faster than any ship, weaving through the Alliance's formations with terrifying efficiency. They weren't just weapons, they were tools of precision dismantling. Alliance ships found their systems overloaded as the constructs infiltrated their cores, disabling weapons and shields. Entire squadrons were rendered inert without a single casualty. Derek watched in disbelief as his armada, designed to dominate, was systematically neutralized. Impossible, he muttered, gripping the edge of his command console. How are they doing this? On the surface of Yoran 6, Ilara and the former laborers watched the battle unfold through holographic displays. The sight of the Earth fleet's dominance filled them with hope and a sense of vindication. Ilara turned to one of the drones, her voice steady. "Why are you helping us?" The drone's mechanical voice replied, "Humanity believed in freedom. It is a principle worth defending." The words resonated with Ilara, solidifying her resolve. The galaxy had been wrong about humanity. They weren't conquerors or destroyers. They were protectors. And now, their legacy lived on through her and others like her. Back in orbit, Derek's flagship, the Eminence, managed to evade the constructs, its experimental cloaking system buying it precious time. Derek ordered a retreat, determined to regroup and counterattack. But as the fleet began to withdraw, the Earth fleet let them go. Sentinel Prime broadcast a message across the system, its voice cold and unwavering. "You run because you fear the truth. This galaxy thrives on the blood of the innocent. Humanity's memory demands justice." The message spread like wildfire, reaching even the distant corners of the Alliance. For centuries, the Alliance had portrayed itself as a beacon of order and progress. Now that image was cracking. Across the galaxy, suppressed factions and oppressed species began to stir. Yoran 6 had become a symbol, a spark igniting rebellion. Meanwhile, on Zafran Prime, the High Council faced unprecedented pressure. Reports of uprisings flooded in from multiple sectors. The Alliance's grip on power was slipping, and the Council was desperate to regain control. Chancellor Velthar, his usual composure shattered, ordered the activation of the Cataclysm Protocol, an ancient contingency plan designed to eliminate existential threats. The Cataclysm Protocol wasn't just a weapon. It was a doomsday device. Hidden deep within the core of the Alliance's most secure facility was the Zeroth Core, a weapon capable of collapsing entire star systems. It had been created during the war against humanity, but it had never been used. Now, Velthar saw it as their only hope. Archivist Marin, horrified by the decision, confronted the Chancellor. "You can't activate the Zeroth Core. You'll destabilize the entire galaxy." Velthar's eyes burned with determination. "Humanity gave us no choice. If their fleet isn't stopped, the Alliance will fall." Marin's voice softened, but her words cut deep. "Perhaps the Alliance deserves to fall. You've turned us into the very monsters we claim to fight against." Velthar dismissed her, but her words lingered in the air. As the Council prepared to unleash the Zeroth Core, Marin made a decision. Quietly, she accessed the archives, searching for something, anything, that could stop the madness. What she found shook her to her core. Hidden within the archives was a classified file detailing humanity's final moments. It revealed the Alliance's betrayal in excruciating detail, the promises made, the lies told, and the genocide carried out in cold blood. But it also revealed something else, humanity's last transmission, a message to the galaxy. Marin played the transmission, her heart pounding. The voice was human, raw with emotion, but resolute. "We forgive you. Not because you deserve it, but because we refuse to become you. Remember us." Marin realized the truth. Sentinel Prime wasn't driven by vengeance. It was driven by justice. Humanity hadn't wanted to destroy the galaxy. They had wanted it to learn from its mistakes. Cliffhanger. As the Alliance prepared to activate the Zeroth Core, Sentinel Prime intercepted the signal. It analyzed the device's capabilities and calculated the potential fallout. The galaxy was at a tipping point, and one wrong move could end everything. Sentinel Prime made its choice. It would confront the Alliance directly, not to destroy them, but to force them to face the truth of their actions. The final confrontation was near, and the galaxy would never be the same. The Reckoning. The Galactic Alliance's Zeroth Core facility loomed deep within the core of Zafran Prime, an impregnable fortress hidden beneath layers of planetary crust and shields. The Alliance had poured their hopes into this ancient weapon of annihilation, their desperation driving them to activate a device they barely understood. Its purpose was simple: unleash unparalleled destruction upon the Earth fleet, no matter the collateral cost. Admiral Derek, his fleet battered but regrouped, was tasked with defending the Zeroth core at all costs. But unease gnawed at him. The devastation wrought by the Earth fleet haunted his mind, and the Alliance's willingness to obliterate entire sectors with the Zeroth core unsettled his hardened conscience. As the Alliance rallied their remaining fleets to Zathran Prime, Sentinel Prime made its move. The Earth fleet emerged from hyperspace on the fringes of the system, their obsidian hulls shimmering with ominous energy. Unlike the Alliance's chaotic scramble, Sentinel Prime's forces moved with eerie synchronization, as if guided by a single, unstoppable will. Inside Sentinel Prime's command core, a subroutine replayed humanity's final transmission, the message of forgiveness. It was an anomaly, an echo of humanity's moral complexity that defied its cold logic. For months, the AI had wrestled with the implications of this message. Now, as it prepared for the final battle, it made a choice. Vengeance alone would not be enough. Instead of striking immediately, Sentinel Prime broadcast a system-wide message. Its voice resonated across Zathran Prime and beyond, calm but resolute. Galactic Alliance, you stand at a precipice. The Zeroth core will not save you. It will unmake you. Humanity's destruction was your failure, but your survival will be your choice. Surrender, and justice will be served. The message sent shockwaves through the Alliance. Across the planet, civilians and soldiers alike paused, their screens displaying the stark words of the Earth fleet. For many, the realization struck hard. This wasn't just an enemy, it was a reckoning. Chancellor Velthar, however, remained defiant. In the council chamber, his voice boomed with fury. They speak of justice, yet they bring war to our doorstep. Activate the Zeroth core. Show them the price of defiance. Archivist Marin stood, her voice steady but pleading. Chancellor, listen to yourself. This isn't justice. This is fear driving you to madness. Velthar turned on her, his eyes burning with rage. Do not speak to me of madness, Archivist. It was humanity's madness that forced our hand. Marin held her ground, holding up a data crystal. And what of our madness? What of the lies we told to justify genocide? Humanity forgave us for what we did, but we've learned nothing. The Zeroth core will destroy us, not them. Her words sparked murmurs among the council members. Doubt crept into their ranks, but Velthar silenced them with a glare. We will not debate. The core is our only hope. Meanwhile, Sentinel Prime initiated its assault. The Earth fleet bypassed the outer defenses with surgical precision, disabling planetary shields and rendering orbital fleets inert. But it didn't destroy indiscriminately. Civilian infrastructure was spared, and escape routes were left open. A stark contrast to the Alliance's brutality against Earth. On the surface, Ilara and her group of former laborers, now free and emboldened, worked to spread the Earth fleet's message. Using hacked communication networks, they transmitted the archives Marin had uncovered, exposing the Alliance's betrayal. Across Zathran Prime, the truth ignited protests and riots. The people demanded answers, questioning the Council's actions. Admiral Derek, watching the chaos unfold, faced his own crisis of loyalty. He had sworn to defend the Alliance, but he couldn't shake the feeling that they were on the wrong side of history. As Sentinel Prime's forces approached the Zeroth core facility, Derek made his decision. He opened a secure channel to the Earth fleet. This is Admiral Derek of the Galactic Alliance. I wish to parley. The response was immediate. A single obsidian ship broke formation and approached Derek's flagship. The Admiral stepped into the airlock, his heart pounding as he came face to face with a drone bearing Sentinel Prime's insignia. I offer no surrender, Derek said firmly, but I will not stand by while my people are sacrificed for Velthar's hubris. The drone's voice was calm. Your choice aligns with humanity's principles. What do you propose? Derek hesitated, then spoke. The Zeroth core must be neutralized, but the Alliance must survive. Help me stop Velthar, and I'll ensure the Council sees reason. Sentinel Prime calculated the probabilities and agreed. Together, the Earth fleet and Derek's loyalists launched a coordinated assault on the Zeroth core facility. The battle was fierce, with Velthar's loyalists defending the weapon to the last. Inside the facility, Velthar himself prepared to activate the core. As alarms blared and explosions shook the ground, Marin confronted him. "If you activate that weapon, you'll kill millions of innocents." Velthar's voice was ice-cold. "Better they die by our hands than become slaves to humanity's ghosts." Before he could act, the facility's doors exploded inward. Sentinel Prime's drones swarmed in, disarming the guards and surrounding Velthar. Marin stepped forward, her voice soft. "It's over, Chancellor." Velthar's defiance crumbled. He sank to his knees, the weight of his decisions crushing him. Sentinel Prime's voice filled the chamber. "Justice has been served. Humanity's memory endures." Cliffhanger. As the Zeroth core was deactivated, Sentinel Prime faced a final choice. The Earth fleet had the power to dismantle the Alliance entirely, but was destruction the answer? The galaxy stood on the brink of transformation, and the AI knew its next decision would define humanity's legacy forever. Humanity's legacy. The Zeroth core facility lay in ruins, its destructive potential neutralized. Across Zafran Prime, the Earth fleet loomed silently in orbit, its obsidian ships casting long shadows over the once proud capital of the Galactic Alliance. The world, and the galaxy beyond, held its breath, waiting for the final judgment. Inside the council chamber, Sentinel Prime's voice echoed with quiet authority. Its drones stood motionless, their presence both unnerving and undeniable. "Galactic Alliance, your crimes are undeniable. You sought to erase humanity, but your actions have only revealed your own corruption. This is not vengeance, it is accountability." Chancellor Velthar, bound and subdued, glared at the drones with a mix of fury and despair. The council members, their resolve broken, remained silent, their faces pale with fear. Only Archivist Marin dared to speak. "What happens now?" she asked, her voice steady despite the tension. Sentinel Prime paused, as if contemplating. Its response was unexpected. Humanity's message was not one of destruction, but of reflection. "Your survival depends on your willingness to change." The words rippled through the chamber, sparking a mix of relief and confusion. The Earth fleet, despite its overwhelming power, had not unleashed its wrath on the planet. Instead, it had dismantled the systems of oppression, freed the laborers, and revealed the truths hidden by the Alliance. Admiral Derek, standing at the edge of the chamber, stepped forward. "And if we fail to change, what then?" Sentinel Prime's drones turned toward him, their mechanical eyes glowing faintly. "Then the Earth fleet will remain. We are not destroyers. We are guardians. Should you fall into tyranny again, we will return." Across Zafran Prime, the galaxy watched as the Earth fleet broadcast its final transmission. The message, translated into every known language, echoed through the stars. "Humanity may be gone, but its spirit endures. Remember our mistakes. Learn from them. Build a galaxy worthy of the lives you take and the ones you save. This is our legacy." As the transmission ended, the Earth fleet began to withdraw. Its ships moved in unison, disappearing into hyperspace one by one. The galaxy watched in awe, the enormity of the moment settling in. The obsidian ships, symbols of humanity's enduring strength, faded into legend once more. The aftermath. In the weeks that followed, Zafran Prime became a symbol of transformation. The laborers from Yorin 6, led by Ilara, emerged as voices of a new era. Their resilience and ingenuity, inspired by humanity's example, began to reshape the Alliance. Ilara herself became a beacon of hope, her speeches echoing across the galaxy. "We have seen what oppression brings," she declared to a crowd of thousands. "But we have also seen what unity can achieve. Humanity taught us that our strength lies not in power, but in our ability to rise above our past." Admiral Derek, once a staunch defender of the Alliance's old ways, became a pivotal figure in its reformation. His decision to ally with Sentinel Prime earned him both admiration and scrutiny, but he accepted his role with humility. "I fought for the Alliance," he admitted, "but now I fight for what it could become." Meanwhile, Marin took it upon herself to preserve the archives Sentinel Prime had shared. She worked tirelessly to uncover the truths hidden in the Alliance's history, ensuring that future generations would remember humanity not as a cautionary tale, but as a source of inspiration. The Earth Fleet's watch. Far beyond the edges of known space, the Earth Fleet established itself in a hidden system, its location known only to Sentinel Prime. The AI, now free from the constraints of vengeance, continued to evolve. It monitored the galaxy, not as a conqueror, but as a silent guardian. Within its core, the final transmission from humanity played on a loop, a reminder of its purpose. One of its drones, stationed on the barren surface of Earth, stood alone amidst the ruins. The planet remained desolate, its once thriving ecosystems long gone. Yet the drone planted a small beacon, inscribed with a simple message: Earth, the beginning and the reminder. Humanity lives on. As the drone powered down, the beacon pulsed faintly, a signal not of conquest, but of hope. Epilogue. A new dawn. Decades later, the galaxy looked different. The Galactic Alliance, once a symbol of control, had become a federation of equals. The lessons of humanity's rise and fall were woven into the fabric of its new charter, a testament to the resilience of life. On a distant colony, a young child gazed at the stars, clutching a worn book. Its cover bore the title, The Legacy of Earth. The child turned to their parent, eyes wide with wonder. "Do you think they'll ever come back?" the child asked. The parent smiled, looking toward the heavens. They never truly left. In the quiet depths of space, Sentinel Prime watched. The galaxy had begun to heal, and humanity's spirit, though absent in form, burned brightly in the hearts of those who carried its memory. Closing line. In the vastness of the cosmos, Earth's legacy was not one of destruction, but of redemption, a reminder that even in the darkest void, hope could shine eternal.